Hello, my name is Sarah Smith with Delta County Libraries, and today I am presenting Story Games. This program is a part of our 2020 Summer Reading Program for Children, and this year our theme is Imagine Your Story. Stories are everywhere, they're all around us. They're in books, movies, songs, musicals, plays, even video games. Think about some of your favorite stories. What do you like best about them? Are they adventure-packed? Or maybe they're funny and make you laugh? Do they have a lot of animals in the story? Or maybe they take place on a fantastical world? There's so many different kinds of stories, but every story has the same important elements. There's 6 important parts of every story. There's the characters, who the story's about. There's the setting, where the story takes place. The hero or the main character of the story. The villain, who or what is working against the hero. The problem, the challenges that the hero or other characters have to overcome. And of course the solution and what they do to solve the problems. Now that you know the 6 important parts of a story, you can make your own up. Now think about some of your favorite stories. Can you identify all 6 parts of the story? I would encourage you as you're reading this summer to see if you can identify the character, the setting, the hero, villain, problem, and solution to any of the stories you're reading. And I'm going to show you how to make some fun story cards that you can use to make your own stories at home. So, I would like to give a big thank you to my story card makers. I had some help from wonderful friends who made some really creative story cards for me to use in this video. You know who you are. Thank you so much. You did a great job on these cards. Now let me show you some of these awesome cards that they came up with. They're really creative. All right, so we have Octo Poison. Ooh, this might be a good problem or villain. Oh, he's upside down. We have Magic Marco. Maybe he could be the hero of one of our stories. What about Grape Girl? She destroys villains with a single squirt. Now don't forget that you're also going to want to have some cards that you could use for your setting. Maybe a city or maybe the mountains. Don't forget about cards that would be maybe a problem or a solution. Here is a dangerous dragon breathing fire on a tower. Ooh, that's scary. That would be a good scary story. What about bare cupboards? That would be a good problem for a hero to solve. And ooh, what about just some other props that your characters might use in a story? Maybe a boat. That could be a solution. Maybe the boat is how the character overcomes a problem. And don't forget, it's nice to have some scary villains, like perhaps Mr. Slither. Yikes, he looks scary. Or what about a magic feather? Or a map. Maps are always useful tools. Be as creative as you like. We will provide some resources that have some coloring pages and some different things that you can use to make your own, but don't forget you can come up with your own story cards. Be imaginative. Maybe you'll come up with a super scary villain, or maybe you'll come up with a really funny problem that your characters have to solve. And be creative, use your imagination, and have fun. A couple fun activities that you can do with the story cards are, 1, make up your own story. You could play a game where you shuffle your cards and pull a card for each of those 6 story elements. So maybe we will pull a spider web. Maybe our story villain will be a scary spider. Maybe a fast race car will be the solution to our problem of a magic wand. Ooh, maybe that's a dangerous magic wand. And maybe it all takes place at a campfire. Who would our characters be? What do you think? Maybe Stretchy Girl could be our hero. Or for a villain, maybe an immortal vampire. So it's really fun to get creative, and be sure to find a story card for each of the 6 parts of a story. Another fun activity that you can do as a family or as a group is to play a goofy group story and work as a group where everyone takes a turn pulling a card, and you work on one story together where each person pulls a card and adds to the story. So if someone pulls an immortal vampire, maybe someone else will pull a cozy cabin, and that's where the vampire lives. Use your imagination. That's the great thing about stories. And some fun things you can do with your stories that you come up with. You could write a book and illustrate it with your story. You could put on a puppet show with puppets, or make your own Lego characters and tell the story with Legos. You could even make costumes and put on a play explaining your story. It's all up to you and your imagination. Some other fun outdoor activities that you can do with your story cards are to go on a storytelling race. So lay out some story cards for your racers, get a start and finish line, and have your racers race picking up story cards as they go, and the first person to cross the finish line wins. Or for a challenge, you could have the first person to come up with a story using all of their cards win. If you have a bigger group, like a big family, you could divide into teams and do this as a relay race where each team has to walk or run or hop or crab walk, pick up a story card, and walk to the finish line. And as each team member picks up a card and goes to the finish line, the next teammate starts. And once all the teammates make it to the finish line, you could have the team try and make up a story with all of the cards. Another fun activity you could do at home is to do a scavenger hunt with your storytelling cards. You could use a story as clues to find each of the cards. You could draw a treasure map that guide the seekers to each of the cards. Or you can make up clues that guide the seekers to each of the different cards. And once you find all the story cards, why not make a story? There's so many fun different storytelling activities that you can do at home, and I would encourage you to work together to come up with some fun, scary, silly, goofy, who knows, imaginative stories. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you haven't signed up for summer reading yet, you can visit our website at deltalibraries.org. Once you're registered, you can track your reading online and earn fantastic prizes like this t-shirt. So we will be providing take-home kits for this activity. The take-home kits will have some coloring pages that you can color and cut out to use as your own story cards. It'll also give you some ideas that you could draw your own, and you will even get some really fun rainbow scratch cards that you can use to create your own characters and different storytelling cards with. To learn how you can pick up a take-home kit, visit our website or Facebook page, or you can call your local library. There are also downloadable materials for this activity if you're unable to make it to the library, and visit our Facebook page or website for more information.